Hello, everybody. We're back. It's
Jew,
D
Jew.
D JuDee Love. We are back, guys. We are back, and today I know something looks different in our video.
Yeah, it's gone.
He's bald. Oh my God! Look
The
how
dreads are gone. But I still think I'm fly.
yes he is. And let me just answer this question for everybody. No, I will not be cutting my hair because he cut his hair. But he will be growing his back eventually. But right now, he had to cut his locks. We cut them yesterday.
2 days.
2 days ago, we cut his locks because his hair was thinning in the top. So my husband let his locks go. But that doesn't mean we're still not locked in love. I'm still going to remain locked for a very long time. Okay, so anyway, back to our topic. Today, we're going to talk about what happens after the fights.
What happens after the fight?
Okay. So the reason why we want to talk about this because a lot of and just also let you guys know, just in case you hear some background noise, they're actually doing workout on the street right behind us outside our window. So you might hear a little construction going on, but it's okay. So
Just a lot of rumbling. Trucks moving and breaking ground.
pretty much it's been going on for a while, and our cars look terrible with all the dust. But anyway, what happens after the fight? A lot of people think, when when you're married or you're in a relationship, fights tend to break you up, right? But in a marriage, me and my husband been married for 6 years. We just celebrated our 6 year anniversary September 22nd. And the topic that we want to talk about, how do you recover from a fight? What happens after an argument? What happens after the two of you don't agree? We're not talking about physical because we don't do the physical thing, but we do have arguments just like everybody else.
You may want to do the physical thing sometimes, but yeah.
That's
We
not
don't.
nice. I can't stand him sometimes, guys. But he keeps it real. That's why we're still together. No. But anyway, what happens after a fight? Say if he and I get into an argument, a really heated argument. What happens after that arguments take place? 9 times out of 10, I have to find my way back. Especially if, come on, can you?
I'm good.
Okay, baby. When we have an argument, we try not to. Well, my husband has this philosophy, and he has this thing where we try not to carry the fight to the next day. He doesn't like to go to bed angry, and that's not to say that we don't do it because we have done it. I have done it. He has done it. But the recovery.
I haven't gone to bed angry. I got over it.
Yeah, I don't get over things. I'm still working on things. I'm still working on it. So, okay, let's get back to the topic. What happens after the fight? After we have the argument, after words have been exchanged, sometimes hurtful words come out. Sometimes feelings that's been bottled up. Can you stop? I'm talking about me. I'm saying D.
Okay.
Well, I'll just face it on me then. You're out. Okay, what happens after? When we have a heated argument, the recovery part is the hardest part for us. Well, for me, I tend to hold on to things because sometimes I feel like the subject is not done.
For days.
No, it's not for days. And it happens in a relationship, but you do have to know what happens after the fight. You do have to know how to come back. The party that was wrong, and I will say it's me a lot of the times, I have to figure out how do I go back to say, honey, I didn't mean what I said, or honey, I was wrong in what I did. That takes a lot. Um, it takes a lot for me to get to that point of saying, Juju, I'm sorry. Juju, I said the wrong things, or just it's hard sometimes to go back, but it is possible to go back after you have said some things. He has forgiven me, and he has come to me as well after arguments. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's all me because sometimes it's him. Babe, sit up a little bit. You're hurting my shoulder.
Oh, goodness.
What we do, guys, is really live, not live, but it's never ever rehearsed. So now, the hardest thing for me to come after a fight or an argument, the hardest thing for me is to face him. The hardest thing for me to do is say I apologize, because sometimes I'm still in that moment. I'm still processing everything. I'm still stuck there, because it's hard to come back and tell someone, you know what, I was wrong. I said the wrong things. But when you finally do make it back to the point, it does make it a little, it does feel better. Like, for instance, I said to him one day, you know what, I'm done. I just want to out this marriage. Like, I was really that he, and 9 times out of 10 is because it's around that time of the month. So I went back to him. I laid there. I really had to go wrap my arms around him without saying any words. I wrapped my arms around him in the bed, and that was my way of apologizing. Now, did he accept my apology? He did,
Of
but
course.
he did, but I still can feel that tension from him. Like, there was still something there. He still wasn't happy with my actions. So I would ask him, I would say, are you okay? Do you still have something on your mind? And he'll say to me, babe, listen, I don't like how you acted the other day. I don't like that. And he'll tell me those things, and it makes me feel really bad. So,
And it should. It should.
and it does. So, Deatrice, now I'm talking about, and you can talk about you in a minute. I have to humble myself. I have to really get back in my mind and think, D, what did you say that was so wrong? What could you have done differently? What will you do differently in the argument, or when another a disagreement come up? And I have tried it. I have practiced not taking that route of lashing out or just chewing his head off. I have to think about things, because he does have feelings. Because what he doesn't. Okay, I'll let him talk now. Go ahead. How do you feel? I mean, how do you react? How do you come back after we have an argument?
How do I come back? Let's see.
Like when you're in the wrong.
When I'm in the wrong, which is kind of rare, but
Very. And I'm being straight honest, guys. I'm not just saying this because he's my husband, but I'm being as truthful as they can be. He's really not wrong a lot of the times. A lot of the arguments are because of me, my hot-headedness. So, and I'm,
Capricorn.
yeah, I know, I'm a Capricorn. I can't. But go ahead, honey.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just quick to get over things. Uh, when I'm wrong, I try to admit right then and there. You know, it might take a few minutes to settle in that I'm wrong, cause I don't think I'm wrong too often. But when I am wrong, it takes a few minutes to settle in, and then I kind of jump right back in, and you know, I'll admit when I'm wrong. But for the most part, I come right back.
Yeah, he bounces back quicker than I do.
I try to not let it linger.
Right. Like with me, I guess I'm not saying it's a female thing, but with me, I have this thing of I hold on for a little bit. And I'm trying, and I don't know if you admit it, but I have been trying not to get so hot-headed anymore. And when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, when you're in a committed relationship with someone, you do have to take that person's feelings into consideration. I have been trying to sit back a little bit more and take his feelings into consideration, instead of always jumping down his throat, or just being so quick. Because guess what? That recovery phase has to happen. So I don't want to revisit that recovery phase. I don't want to have to go back and say I'm sorry. So to prevent that from happening, I don't do it at all. And that's not to say that we'll avoid the argument. We will still say what we need to say, but I'm more careful with this. I'm very careful of what I say to him now, because of the fact that I don't want to have to apologize. I don't want to have to feel like thinking about, like, dang, did I say something so wrong to him? Now I'm more careful. I think about what I have to say. I think about the argument. We think about the argument before we have the argument. Or like he says to me, it's not an argument. And I'm like, if we're not agreeing, that's my husband's phone. He just got a message. When we're not agreeing,
Woody Woodpecker.
yes, when we're not agreeing with one another, we do tend to now. It took a while to get to this point of saying, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's Or if I'm not in the mood to talk about it, I'll say to him, Juju, can we not do this right now? But if he really needs to talk about it, he knows it might get ugly. But now I know I have to think before I say anything. So that's what happens after the argument. You really have to come back to your partner. If you're the wrong one, you have to be
man or woman enough to
apologize. And mean your apology. Don't just say, I'm sorry. Because that's what I used to do in the beginning. I'm sorry. But it was so empty and it was just so not heartfelt, and it wasn't really I'm sorry. It was just more so let's just cover it up real quick because I don't want to feel this feeling anymore.
Sweep it under the rug.
Right, and guess what? When you sweep things on the rug, you step back on that rug and that dust comes right back out, and guess what? It resurfaces and that argument is back there again. So like I said, we take a step back. Deatrice takes a step back. And not to say that this always happens, but it's a good practice. It's a good practice to think about what you're going to say so that you don't have to go back to the what happens after the argument. So I have learned, and I think I'm growing. Are you growing?
Yep, of course.
Am I growing?
Small steps.
He is such a butthead. But that's our take on what happens after the argument. Just be a man or a woman. After your argument, go back to your partner and apologize to your partner with heartfelt emotions, and make sure and don't just say it for the sake of saying it. Really mean it, and make sure your partner feels what you're saying. Because that's what I do. I try to make sure that he feels what I'm saying, and so that I don't have to get to this subject, get to that point. We try to avoid the arguments. And that's not to say that they won't happen again. They will happen again because we're human. We are two different people, and, we're trying to make things work. Your little fat head is not in there we go. But anyways.
Your arm's too short.
Then you're going to have to start holding it. There you go. I'm hands-free, guys. I'm hands-free. My husband has the camera. But anyway, that's our spin on what happens after the argument. We just have to get over it, and you just have to get back to being in love for the most part. And when it's over, it should be really over. The subject should not come back up again. Solve it. Get it all out, even if you have to take a moment to get it all out, but you have to come back to the table and discuss that subject. Don't sweep it under the rug, because like I said before earlier in the video, the dust will come back out and you will revisit those same issues. So that's JuDee Love's spin on what we feel like, how we get back to each other after an argument. We will have more subjects coming up soon. Hope you guys subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions or you have any topics that you would like to hear us talk about, by all means, leave them in our comments. You can follow us on Facebook as well, because we'll be there. We're going to post this on our Facebook channel. Share with a friend, share with another married couple, or not just for married couples, for people that want to get married, singles, because sometimes they need this so that way when
ahead of time.
Exactly. So that way when they do get into a relationship, or they're getting into something where it may turn into a marriage, you need somebody or other people that has been down that road and can help you better. So when you face these challenges, you'll be able to look back or think back like, oh, I remember when JuDee Love said, so let me try it. And it does work. So we never had that, but we're creating that. So again, share our YouTube channel with your friends, other married couples, or women or men and women that are just being engaged or just in a relationship, committed relationships. Because, you never know which way God is going to move. So again, share our YouTube channel, share it on your Facebook pages, on your Instagram if you can, whatever, just share it. Share. And that is JuDee Love.
All right, now it's about me.
Oh!
Okay,
You cut me
real
out.
quick. Do y'all like the hair? I had to cut the dreads. So now I'm back to the low top.
He looks very
But I'm going to let it
nice.
grow back out. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Bye.
That's not part of JuDee